morning, and welcome to Winnipeg. Yes, we were busy last night. We are going to have two rollbacks. First rollback will explain what you're seeing right here, and but the first one is going to. I gotta say something here. I'm surprised that nobody picked up on when I said in yesterday's episode, we kind of have reason to celebrate today. Well, we're going to celebrate with an extra piece of muffin. But yeah, it was 5 years ago today that I brought this upstairs and started the model ship series. Episode 1 was 5 years ago today. I think what we should do is, instead of me talking about it, I'm just going to take out maybe 60 seconds and we're just going to reminisce a little bit of episode 1, just to sort of refresh your memory. Some of you are going to remember it. Yeah, I've still got all the old video files from all those old episodes, so I'm able to show it to you. So why don't we do that? Why don't we just sort of roll back and look at just a few little clips out of episode number 1 of the model ship. Well, you know, they've survived really well. I can't remember the exact year that I made them, but I'm guessing it's about 37 years ago. I used to have the manuals for both. This used to be our so-called banquet table. Whenever the family all got together and we needed extra room around the table, this went up the stairs and we could seat about 12 people around it. Mind you, some of them were kids, so they didn't take up a whole lot of room. You know, I used to be able to squeeze through there a lot easier too. Something happened here. Okay, I made it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Okay, I find those old video files interesting, even though I know what it is I'm going to see. Now, the second rollback. I did a lot of stuff last night, as you can see. Got our big muffin here on Gabe's whirlybird, merry-go-round, turntable, lazy Susan, whatever you want to call it. I'm just in my glory when I can do this, aren't I? Okay, now we got our little tubes made, and what I'm going to do is the first part of the next rollback is going to deal with the making of these. When I get to the muffin, there's going to be people probably not at all interested in how I calculated my calories and all that kind of stuff. So what I'll do, if I remember, that is, I'll put where you can scrub ahead to get to the end of it, because it is quite lengthy. And for some people, it's going to be really boring. So why don't we just sort of roll back here? Okay, I've been trying to decide here this evening, do I use the extra thin or the extra thin quick setting? And I think that being is that we're not in a big hurry, maybe just the extra thin would be good enough here, because it's going to be, just loosen the top, give it a little bit more time for melding. And here's my thinking on it. I thought I'd probably use 3 clamps, 1 on each end and maybe 1 in the middle. And if I apply the extra thin, well, this clamp is on this end, apply it rather to this half, then squeeze it together. Then when I squeeze it together and clamp it, this end will open up and I can do the same thing. At least that's what I'm thinking right now. If the seam is too tight, then the extra thin is not going to go in. So let's just give it a whirl here and see how it goes. Maybe what I'll try to do is zoom in a little bit here. Just let me recompose a bit. Okay, hopefully this is going to be a little clearer for you. Now, we're going to allow it to wick its way down. We can. I can actually see it going down there. Okay, we got that pretty good. Just one more maybe right here. I do have a few seconds to working with the extra thin versus the quick setting. Okay, so now we'll put this together and we'll move this down here like that. Okay, now that should allow this end to open up. Do the same thing. Yeah, I don't think you probably were able to see it, but I could see it. It just shot like an arrow back up this way. I guess if I make a bit of a mess on the outside, I can always sand stick it off. Okay, now we'll get another clamp here. Put it on the end like that. And I think the middle is basically done. I want to be careful not to be getting this glue on my fingers, or I'm going to end up with fingerprints on the plastic. Okay. Now, that should make a very strong joint. It's not going to come apart. Now, the other one. Oh, I discovered later that these can actually go either way. At first I thought they had to go just one way, and if it didn't go, then I was turning it around, but I later found out they're sort of symmetrical. I just wasn't putting it together right the first time. Okay, you know what, I better aim the camera down a little bit. I just looked up in the monitor and I'm almost scared to look at my footage for what I just did there. I might have had the thing out of sight. I've been doing a lot of that lately. Okay. Okay. Now, I don't think I need to put any there in the middle, do I? I can almost see that it was wet, so why did I do it then? Okay, now watch I don't get my fingers on it. and also watch that I don't glue the clamp to the tube. I think we're okay. Okay, so there we go. They're done. All right, let's, I I know that calories are really small, but I don't think we're going to need the macro lens for the calories. Okay, let's make our muffin. I don't know if I've mentioned this or did I maybe just think about mentioning it, but the reason I'm doing this out here on the model table is because the lighting is so much better than in the kitchen. So this is a wheat bran. I use a lot of this, and in almost everything I make. It sort of helps one keep, you might say, regular. Okay, there's 35 calories in 15 grams. So it works out to about 2.3 calories per gram. Yeah. We'll be using at least a cupful of that. And what I'm going to do here is probably we'll use half of this muffin mix. There's 900 grams. I'm probably going to use 450 grams. We'll use a little bit of the oatmeal. We'll use all of the raisins because there isn't that many left. I'm debating on whether maybe I should soak the raisins first. Although they're still, yeah, maybe I won't soak them. No, I'll let the cooking absorb into them a little bit. Otherwise, they're just too. I don't know. I like something that's a little bit chewy. So, and I was thinking, maybe I should put some nuts in there too. Yeah, I'll get some peanuts. I think I've got some left from Christmas time. Okay, these peanuts are very fattening. There's 310 calories in just 50 grams. So they're 6.2 calories per gram. They're going to be the most fattening ingredient that we've got. But I like peanuts, and if I just remember, instead of eating a whole lot of the muffin, just eat a smaller portion of it. You're thinking one muffin, but when you see it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, we'll put these in. I don't know if I need to put them all in, though. Okay, I think we may as well start keeping track of what we're going to put in here. I'll figure out the total later, and we'll talk about it later. Okay, so we got 6 eggs. And I'm noticing that the Winnipeg chickens are able to number their eggs when they lay them. I wonder how they did that. Okay, now for the raisins. Okay, it looks like 80 grams of raisins. Okay. This might make a mess, so I'm going to have to be careful here. Now, it doesn't have to be exactly 450 grams. We're weighing, we're not measuring. If it goes a little bit over, that's all right. All right, that's pretty close. 453. Okay. Now this and the oatmeal I want to add to the eggs after I have whipped the eggs. And I'm not going to take that much oatmeal because it has a tendency to expand pretty good. And this will be more than enough. So we're going to have, it's on 0, 63 grams of oatmeal. Okay. Now my plan is to add the raisins and the nuts after I've beaten this other ingredients into the eggs. So, all right, now I'm just going to eyeball it here. Whatever it is, it is. Okay, 164 grams of nuts. Lots of calories there. Now I was going to go running off into the kitchen and start mixing this up, and then I realized I forgot about the oat bran here. And once again, I'm just going to eyeball it. I'll give it 30, how much is that, 31 grams, maybe a little bit more. Not that it's going to make a difference. Okay, 35 grams. Plus 81. Okay, so that's 37.41. Okay, that's how many total calories there's going to be altogether. Now I'm hoping it is all going to fit in this. And that weighs 121 grams. I better write that down. 121. Okay, I'm going to take all this stuff into the kitchen and I'm going to bake a muffin. And yeah, it's going to be one big muffin. I'm hoping it's going to fit. I think it will. Well, we'll soon know. We'll see you when it's done. Okay, we can use Gabe's Lazy Susan here. I can sort of center it on there somehow. I guess pretty close. All right, I gave it probably a total of maybe 13 minutes in the microwave. I'm noticing something kind of shiny there. I wonder what that is. I'll check that out later. I guess it's just the way it baked, I guess. Yeah, those are bubbles. Okay, all right. Had me worried for a minute. It looked like glass, but it's not. It's bubbles. All right. Yeah, about 13 minutes on high in the microwave. 1200 watt microwave. So I don't think I've got it. Sometimes I leave it in too long and the edges get hard. But right now they're feeling pretty good. I'll know when I take it out and turn it over. All right, now we got to figure out how many calories there is and all that, right? Okay, so okay, what do we got here? 1124 grams. Okay, now what we're going to have to do is subtract the weight of this silicone pan here. I love these things. I absolutely love these things. I think they're a great invention. Okay, so I don't want this to to dry out, so I'm just going to stick it in this bag here. I think I am anyway. Oh, it's hot on the bottom, but not so hot that I can't get it in the bag. Like a bull in a china shop. Okay, just tuck that underneath there. So, 1,003 grams after we subtract the weight of the... Okay, so now what we have to do is figure out how many calories there is per gram, and it's going to be really high. It's going to be double of what I estimated Arlene's was. But then I got a lot of really, really fattening stuff in there, like there's the nuts, for instance. The nuts account for about a quarter of it. It's over 1,000 calories of nuts in there. But I knew that when I dumped them in, so... All right, so let's see what we got going here. Okay, so we got 3741 calories divided by 1,003 equals, okay, it's about 3.72, yeah, about 3.7 calories per gram. So tomorrow morning, when I cut it open, I'll weigh whatever the piece is and multiply it by 3.72, and I'll know how many calories it is. So, you know, I think that's going to be about all we're going to do here this evening. What do we got here? 8:44. Yeah, we've had a good rollback. We'll see you in the morning. Okay, it is morning, and I think that's more than safe to take our clamps off. All right, we're obviously going to have to scrape our seams flush. Yeah, let's just sort of do that. I'll see, maybe I can do that on camera. I'll see if I can. Sometimes doing something like this doesn't work out on camera, but they feel fairly strong. Now I could probably twist it hard enough that I could, you know, break it at the seam, but I don't. But maybe not either. It's pretty strong. Okay, let's recompose here and try and get this in some sort of semblance of acceptableness. And we'll deal with our muffin a little later. It's a little too early yet to have coffee time. Hey, what do you mean? I've been having coffee time since about 4:30 this morning. Yeah, I couldn't sleep in this morning again. Okay, now obviously where these positioning pins are, this is probably going to be tight up against something. We're not going to see this seam anyway, so I guess it's probably the seam on the other side that we've got to really concern ourselves about. But be careful not to break these positioning pins off. Okay. Alright, I'm going to just do the other side the same way. It might be a little easier because I don't need to worry about the pins. At least that's the plan. And then I'll do this one, and then we'll see what else we can do. And what step are we in? We're in that. This is it for step 14. And move on to step 15. Okay, clearly they are not perfect. But then I don't want them perfect, because if they are, they're going to show up the rest of the build. And I even remembered to get the ends here. Alright, let's see if there's anything else we can do here yet before it's coffee time. Okay, we are done. Step 14. Make 2. We've made 2. I can still count to 2. In fact, I can count to 10. And if I include my toes, I can count to 20. But to count to 20, I have to take off my motorcycle slippers. Okay, step 15. Enough silliness here. It must be an age thing. Okay, step 15, I was just looking at a moment ago. I do believe we have all of these pieces made up. This piece here, it doesn't look like we've made it up, but it's the one that has the bunk beds on the other side, and it's over there somewhere. But we do not have this one, H8 and G1. So let's get those. Okay, H9, H8. A moment ago, when I was looking at the G sprue through the plastic sleeve, I didn't see the G1. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's missing. And then I realized, no, it's still there. It's just a lot smaller than I thought. So, okay. I think it is somehow supposed to fit into this. Well, we'll check the manual and figure it out. Clearly, we have to get the sprue connections off of there and so on. But I was noticing when I was looking at our G1 here, it's kind of lopsided. It's not symmetrical. So I'm wondering if it would be possible to glue it in the wrong way. Okay, I would think that this side here is the long side. At least they've drawn it in perspective drawing, so it's I do believe that's the way it's going to go. Maybe if I get the connections off there, I'll be able to see better. Okay, it is mid-morning. It's coffee time. It is time. And here's what's happened. Let me get our stuff over here. On pizza day, which here's the end of it right here, I went over my 1,000 calories. And yeah, I was 1,095 calories. So what I did was, to make up for it, yesterday I limited myself and I only had 553 calories. So that means that I can probably have an extra 400 calories today. In other words, 1,400 calories. I haven't had anything yet today. That is calorie-wise. Maybe too much coffee. But anyway, let's... I know that Arlene's muffins are going to taste way better than this, but I think I'm going to save it. I was planning on having one of her muffins today, as well as this. I'm gonna have to get the cutting board over here. Yeah. This is still nice and moist. When I poured the batter in this pan, it filled the whole pan, but as it cooked and then cooled, it shrunk. So some of the moisture, I guess you might say, cooked out of it in the 13 minutes that it was in the microwave. You will remember from the rollback, the first rollback, where you saw me carrying the plywood up the stairs. I was what you might say a little bit on the portly side. I think I was very close to the heaviest that I've ever been in my life, which, if I remember right, was around 289 pounds. I was almost 290 pounds. And I think it was about 3 years ago I went on that big diet, if you remember, and I almost got down to my goal weight. My goal weight I had set for myself was 170. And I believe I got my weight down to 171.7 or something. I've got it written down. It was just under 172, I remember that. And then I slowly started going up and up and up and up. And last midsummer, around August, I believe it was, July or August, I was up to around 256, something like that, or 254. I've got that written down somewhere too. Anyway, right now I'm down to, I weighed this morning, I was 216 pounds and change. So I'm going down. I'm being really careful since I went on my diet on January the 1st, and I have limited myself to an average of 1,000 calories a day. So the weight's going back down again. I don't know if I'm going to make it to my goal weight. I'm going to try. I'd like to be, get it well under 200 by the time the Honda Rebel arrives. The latest is it looks like Bill's Cycle is possibly going to be able to deliver it here to me here in Winnipeg. That'd be absolutely great, because I'm a little bit on the scared side of going down the Trans-Canada Highway, where I think the speed limit's 110 kilometers an hour, that is. And I'm going to have big trucks right on my tail, because they're going to want to be doing 115. And here's this old man on his motorcycle that he's not used to, putting along at maybe 90. So I'm going to be really happy if JR or somebody from Bill's Cycle can haul it in here in his on his vehicle. Anyway, have I rotated this enough? I think it's time to get the cutting board and cut this, and see how much it's gonna weigh, because this is really rich. It's really rich. I could have made it a lot less fattening if all I had used was just the muffin mix and water, but I threw raisins in and eggs and these nuts. My goodness, over 1,000 calories of nuts are in there. So no wonder it's so fattening. I'm sure that Arlene's muffin, is nowhere near this fattening. Okay, let's get the cutting board and cut this and stop flapping my lips. I could feel the knife going through the nuts. Okay, I think I'm going to cut this into 8 pieces. Okay, so right now it's 2. Cutting it like that will be 4. Cutting it like that will be 8. Okay, let's for the fun of it, let me recompose here, and we'll get our scale going. and our calculator, and yeah, just let me recompose here. Okay, if yesterday was the 22nd, today must be the 23rd. All right, and first of all, I better write down what it is I'm eating. Well, I know it's a muffin. Okay, and hopefully this is going to work. And it's at 0. Okay, so we have 120 grams there. Okay. Guess I didn't need to twist this, did I? Okay, so it weighs, let me get this up here so you can see my chart. Okay, grams is 120 per gram, and it was, what was it over here? 3.73. Okay, so we go, this is going to be a lot of calories in that. Okay, 120 times 3.73 equals, okay, there are 400, and we'll call it 448. I always go to the next digit. Okay, 448. Okay. So because I only had 553 yesterday, I can probably go for another 1,000 calories, which is, you know, the kind of stuff I eat. It's going to be a bit of volume to it. Kind of make me feel like I've actually eaten something. I'm a foodaholic, I'm sorry. Okay, let's try this out here now. Well, it's good, but it can't come even close to Arlene's muffins. Doesn't have the flavor. Okay, let's get back to the model ship here. Yesterday, I found these glasses, and they were sitting on a shelf by the hallway. And I thought, well, maybe they're Gabe's. So I emailed Gabe and asked him if he'd left his glasses. No, it wasn't him. Then I sent a message off to my son, and he says, no, they're not his. And just moments ago, when I was trying to think of, well, who has been in my house recently, I realized that it could possibly be my friend Merv, you know, from Merv's Flag. So I'm going to give him a quick call here and ask him if he's missing his glasses. In the meantime, if they are not his, and you left your glasses in my house, well, now you know where they are. Oh, by the way, those 7 pieces that I had, I cut them in half. I now have 14 smaller pieces. So we'll get these in the freezer. Okay, so I called Merv's house just moments ago, and his wife answered, and I said, is Merv missing his glasses? And she says, well, I'll let you talk to him. So he gets on the phone, and yeah, he says, I was just looking for those today. Well, if he was only looking for them today, I guess he didn't need them very bad, so I don't feel too bad then about the fact that I didn't call maybe as quickly as I could have. Okay, I think I'll just maybe take Chris's file to some of those and just get the burrs off, and then we'll just figure out how this piece is supposed to position on here. At least that's the plan. probably about 5 minutes ago, Merv came by and picked up his glasses. I was noticing when he left, he wasn't walking too good. Oh, here's a little bit of flashing I missed. There's a lot of us older people on this street, people that were here when the area was new. Well, actually, I think there's only one family that's here, or one couple that's here, and he died. They were here when these houses were built. When I moved here, the place was 12 years old already. Now, it has to go this way. And, yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the way it's going to go. See if it fits. Yeah, if I put it this way, you can see that it fits nicely. But if I was to try and put it the other way, I don't think it's going to go. It's going to be obviously too long. Yeah. Okay, so it's got to go like this. Okay, I think maybe I'm going to sort of block it up somehow. And maybe I'll use the quick setting. Yeah, I'm just going to block it up so that it's going to be square. I don't want it to be flopped over. As near as I can tell, it's supposed to go square. I think if it was supposed to go at an angle, they would have indicated somehow. Now, how am I going to get that to stay there? Okay. Does that look like it's... You can see it better than me. Let me check the monitor and then I'll see it how you're seeing it. That looks pretty good. Now if I carefully take this away, it should basically stay at the same angle. I don't think I moved anything. I think, oops, it's falling over here. You know what? Maybe I should block this up evenly on each side. It's got this little whatever, and it's... I think of it. Yeah, I'll think of something here. Okay, these are about the same height. So I put like that, and like this. All right. Now, will our square sit on there, or is it going to fall over? I think this is going to be a lot more stable. And what way does it go again? Like that. And we'll get this on here. And we'll move this in, and we have to move this up a bit. Okay, now let's move the bottom of the square right in like that. Okay, whoops. Sorry to be getting my fingers in your way there. Okay, I think that's good. Now if I put Chris's file like this, now once again we should be able to take this away without it rocking. There. Alright, now where's our quick setting? Good old quick setting. Okay, let's try not to bump it here. it's when I'm reaching around like this that I usually have trouble. I just want to let it wick its way down into the crack. We don't need to build it up like, you know, the CA thick or something. Okay, I think that's probably going to be enough. Oh no, I just realized I've glued it on the wrong way. Oh, is it going to come out now? I would have to use the quick setting, wouldn't I? Run! Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I'm probably going to have to, I'm going to have to use the extra thin now, and, because I need to be able to meld everything. Where's my extra thin? How stupid. How could I be so stupid? Gotta soften everything now. And I'd gone to all this work of okay, it's supposed to go this way. Okay. Oh. Well, as I've often said, you see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that was really ugly. Now, are we square? Okay, I think we're pretty good. Maybe I'll just leave the square on there. It won't glue itself to the plastic. Oh, I can't believe I did that. I am sitting in front of my computer now, editing everything out that you've seen up until right this minute. And once again, I had no idea that I had record pressed so much today. I'm going to have to call her quits. As for our walkers, Don and Bridget, yes, they did come by, but I don't have time to get the file out of the surveillance system. They came by around 7:33 this morning, and there was no sunrise. I'm going to have to call her quits right now. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.